Waiting. We don't like waiting. We want things now, fast, instant gratification. We need answers. But life, it doesn't work that way. My name is Jennifer Woodward, and this is part of my story. My husband Mike and I had been married about 3 years when I came down with a cold. My cold was getting worse, and it was the weekend, so I went to urgent care. While I was there, I found out 2 things, one of which surprised me, and one that didn't surprise me at all. First, I had a sinus infection, and second, I was pregnant. After 3 years, I had started to wonder if pregnancy wasn't in the cards for us, and I was okay with that. I spent a lot of time caring for my brothers and sister, while my mom battled what the doctors called the worst case of fibromyalgia they had ever seen. While other kids were out running around being teenagers, I was at home being a mom and a nurse. I love my brothers and sister like they're my own kids, and I was so blessed to have had that. But I was more than a little excited to have the opportunity to be a parent myself, and I relished the thought of being a mother. A week before Christmas, something happened. Something was wrong. My insides were churning in a way I knew wasn't good. I hurried to the bathroom and told my husband that something wasn't right. I suddenly heard that voice that I love to hear more than any other voice in the world. "It's okay, Jen. I've got her," he said. As the Holy Spirit spoke to me, an amazing peace rushed over me, and I knew that no matter what was about to happen, everything was going to be okay. Things started to get messy. It suddenly turned into something out of a horror movie. And no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't hold back what was happening. They say I went through all the stages of labor and delivery in a matter of minutes. And it was intense. We went back to urgent care. A nurse came in, proudly wearing a picture of her son on her security badge. But when she looked at my test results, she tried to discreetly turn the badge over so I wouldn't see. But I had already seen, and my heart sank. I was given a piece of paper when I was discharged, and it said, "Miscarriage," with a small and very vague paragraph about my symptoms. And I was sent home to deal with the mess, to deal with the emptiness, to deal with my silent grief. My husband and I cried in the car, and then we went home. They don't tell you what it's like. Nobody talks about it. That paper they give you, it doesn't tell you what to do or how to cope. It wasn't simple, and it wasn't just over. I bled for a month. My hair turned gray, and then it fell out. Merry Christmas to me. Christmas Eve came, and our church in California had a service. Mike was helping with worship and sound, so I sat there by myself. The children's choir sang, and they did a nativity play This is a story of a woman who loved God with all her heart and who was pregnant and having a baby. It was so painful. It was the first time the story of my Jesus hurt me. But I remembered his words. It's okay, Jen. I've got her. He had my little girl, and she was safe, and she was healthy, and she was happy. I named her Ava Marie. Ava is a variation of the name Eve, because Eve was the first mother, and this baby was my first. And Marie as a variation of the name Mary, for my mom, who's my best friend, and for Mary in the Bible, who said, "Behold, the maidservant of the Lord, let it be to me according to your word." Whatever you want to do, Lord. That's what I signed up for. She doesn't have a birthday, but I know what day she went to be with Jesus. December 17th, our Ava Marie will be 9 years old. 9 months later, I found out I was pregnant again, and I held my breath. It was a hard pregnancy, and the delivery was an emergency C-section. The days that followed were touch and go, but in the end, she made it. We named our second daughter Lucy Elizabeth, which means light that is consecrated to God. You see, I had to consecrate her to God. I had to give her over to him before she was even born. She belonged to him and not to me. See, our kids aren't ours. We just steward them until God takes them home or calls us home. We have to hold them loosely and be ready for the short amount of time that we have in their lives. My third daughter is Lily Abigail. Her name means pure joy of the Father's heart. For surely I have so much to celebrate and so much to be thankful for. You know, God hasn't promised us an easy life. He hasn't promised us a lack of pain. He hasn't promised us quick answers. But what he did promise is that he would never leave us and he would never forsake us. He's here in the waiting, and he's here in the pain.